All right, so let's move on to Offensive Rookie of the Year. Connor, you want to start us off again?
I'm cheesing.
Absolutely. So personally, the way that I look at the Offensive Rookie of the Year award, I think opportunity is king. I think for you to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, you got to be starting week 1 and you got to play every game. So I took my pick for Offensive Rookie of the Year is Treylon Burks. And the reason being is I think he has the talent. I think that the targets that are open there now with no A.J. Brown and a new Robert Woods are through the roof. He might see the most targets out of any rookie this year. And the only thing he really has to do is make a couple good plays and, a couple highlight reels. Like if he makes some highlight plays, I think he's going to take over the media. And I think the media really pushes the narrative for Offensive Rookie of the Years. And he doesn't really have the hype around him. So he's a dark horse. And I think the media likes dark horses.
And I'm gonna he could really feed off of that play action that with Henry, so like AJ Brown did. So it's like it's like kind of not obviously not the same player, but it's just like the same mold essentially role. Like so I don't hate that pick at all.
I think it's plausible. Yeah.
I love it. He's in one of my dynasty leagues. I hope Connor's right. And also, this is one thing I want to say about Treylon Burks because I've thought this even when during the draft process. And I'm seeing preseason. I just got to say, because it's one of those, it's one of these weird things. I don't even know how to explain it. But he has this weird trait where like he can like turn direction really well without even looking like he's like even really moving his body. It's kind of, do you get what I'm saying? Like his way of like changing direction is like such a quick shift. It almost doesn't even, it takes such little effort, it looks like.
I think it looks so effortless because of how big he is.
Yeah, and
like
that's
exactly,
he's a big guy, but
it's
like the way he moves is very, I don't want to say special, but for the way his body type is, it looks really special. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think. I've loved his ceiling. I think the ceiling's super high.
I agree.
My reasoning was very similar to yours. Mm-hmm. And, I wasn't hype on this. And I'm honestly probably stealing yours because you were on this guy before the draft even. Mm-hmm. But Dameon Pierce, volume is king. And if he dominates the rushing attempts in that Texans backfield, I don't see how how could he not win the award? Like, I just don't know how. And
I love that.
I think the minimum he'd have to get is probably like 900, 1K.
If he gets like 5-6 touchdowns, I just think it's.
I almost feel like 900 is his floor this year, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying.
That's like floor.
And I think
I'd be sad if he finished with that.
I think it's pretty hard for a rookie running back to come in and just blow up the shit. But it's rare.
And I think watching him in the preseason, I think that our standard for him is already like that of someone that's been in the league for 2 to 3 years, who's established himself in the backfield. I fully expect him to be more than a capable running back. Even if you look at fantasy wise, he should easily be a running back too in fantasy, I think.
100%.
I just think, like you said, volume is king. If he gets the touches, I just feel like this is such a good award. So
such a mean runner at Florida.
So me and Connor were talking about this before you started. This is my only thing. Because I agree with everything you're saying. The only thing, you said, what's the only reason? This would be the only thing I could think of is, okay, Lovey's Texans offense. Now, if that run gets stuffed consistently, that's the only issue is how,
abandon it.
And they might abandon it. That's what I see that might happen a little often.
Yeah, no, I feel that.
That's the only thing.
I could see that for sure. All right, Tyler.
All right. Very, very much bias here. Very much. But that's okay because I think I have 2 picks. It's
very biased.
Very biased. Yeah, that's I said that. We're good. So it's Garrett Wilson, Chris Olave. Wilson is sitting at plus 1,000 and Olave sitting at plus 1,200. Back like we were talking about with the Bosas, I watched both of these guys at the same time on the field. It was awesome to watch. It was you just have a treat, and Fields and Stroud have had that. And those guys were awesome in college. I think I have to pick one of the two. I'm going to go with Wilson. I think he is better than Elijah Moore. I don't care that he hasn't played a snap yet. I think he is. He is a freak. He is a freak. If you don't know about the Clemson catch over Kendrick in the semifinal game, just look at him get up. That was unreal.
I'm cheesing just thinking about
it. Just get up.
He got up and I was like, holy shit. I was like, oh. And then of course I thought, I was like, oh, that might win us the game. That's a big play. But I think he's got all the route running that you can find anywhere. He can obviously jump. He's got it all. And for Olave, I know this might hurt to say, but let's say Mike Thomas misses a chunk of games. He's got to be slotted into that role. They picked him at 12 or whatever it was. It's him and Jarvis Landry. Olave could get a lot of looks. He will get a lot of looks if MT does go down. I hope he doesn't. I have him in a fantasy league. So that's just another way if
if not, he'll be in the slot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, and he's probably going to be the least, how do I say this? Probably like the last person they'll want to guard out of the three.
No, I mean, like, I do get what you're saying.
So,
he'll be open a lot. Like, I definitely agree.
I'm going to hit you guys with a raw transition too. But do you think he should have been taken ahead of Dobbs, offensive rookie of the year, Drake London in the draft?
Wilson?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys. My thing is, Drake London has been my guy.
Don't get it twisted. I love London. I just think Garrett Wilson is a crazy receiver, and I watch.
You think he is
week in and week out? Oh, I definitely think he's him.
I think everyone just has different traits that you value most. That's Drake London just had my, Drake London just filled out all the traits that's the thing is, it just comes down to what you value most, and like there's never like a right or wrong answer. But yeah, swing it over. I took Drake London just because, and I'll stick with my logic's been the same the whole time. He's such a big target. He has great hands, and he's going to get a ton of targets this year. And in that, look, if they can open up that run game in the Arthur Smith offense, there's no way they're not going to take chunks to him down the field. And if he, like, again, just back one-on-one, I think he's going to win more than he's going to lose. And we're going to look at him as I do see him being that type of receiver.
Hey.
Like, how we look at Mike Williams, I think Drake London is like a higher ceiling type of version of that. Where like, you throw it up to him. Like, if you see him one-on-one, you got a good chance.
I think he has one thing going for him, and that's the fact that he's playing alongside Kyle Pitts. If Kyle Pitts draws a ton of attention, Drake London's job should be a lot easier. Like, a lot easier. And I will say this, he was good at USC, but like, I don't know why this play sticks with me, because it was nothing special, but the one catch in preseason, he caught the ball and he just looked so smooth. Like, he caught it in stride, ran with it. Like, it almost like you could just tell that he looked like he was going to be a very good NFL receiver.
And sorry, last things, I'm done gushing over him after this, but you just reminded me, because it's like, to your point, what I loved about him so much is every rep in college versus every other receiver that I was, because I watched a lot of reps from a lot of receivers this last process. And my thing was, Drake London just looked like genuinely he cared the most about in every rep he did. Like, every rep he did was with vigor, whether he was blocking, running a route that was a fake on an RPO, like everything he did it like he loved it. And I guess the blocking, especially, I just see Drake London being a really good pro for a really long time.
I agree.
I love London too. I think all these receivers in this class are special.
I think it was a good class.
This was probably one of my favorite classes.
This was an unreal.
Probably my favorite class.
I mean, that's the thing is, like, I've said that every year too, and that's the
Same.
thing. Like, when
It's
they
so
come
hard
out,
to
I'm
beat.
like, fuck, I love them. The next class,
Right.
oh, they might be better.
It's easier to look back. It's easier to look back like 2 or 3 years later.
And I'm gonna
just
love
keep
next
getting
year's
better.
class too. I already know it.
They
Like,
just keep getting better and better.
They really do, though.
next year's class is insane to think about. That's just for next year. But like, damn.
Yeah, next year's gonna be
There's
wild.
like 3 or 4 of them at the top. You're like, woohoo! You can make a case that you could take them all in the top 7, top 5, kind of thing.
Yeah.